Alright guys, I am setting up a video here for my plotter, which is the SC3600. I have an inconsistent cutting issue with this unit here, and I'm making this video for Master Sign Direct, who is aiding me, and we are trying to eliminate different components of the system to figure out. And I want to make note that right here, this is my adapter for the plotter, and I do have that plugged into COM6, which when you go to figure them out, COM6 is plugged in. Okay, so we've got let me get rid of this car here. I'm actually using the software to cut window tinting. So let's pull up a vehicle here that I do have to cut some pieces for. I'm going to cut up, let's see, a 2012 Chevy Malibu. So I know this is going to be that you guys aren't going to be able to see exactly what's going on the computer itself, I don't believe. Maybe you will. 2012 Chevy Malibu, right? Okay, we're going to open that up, make it big here. Okay, now we got our patterns, right? Okay, so I'm going to cut this. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load up some film here. So I'm going to cut, basically I'm going to use this 20% here. What we're going to do, we're going to load this up. Okay, and actually I got to load it up down here. Okay, so I know it's a little tough to see. I'm close. I'm going to get this lined up properly and get this film installed here. We're going to put this film, we're going to slide it over so that the roller is right over the edge there. And I'm going to move that for a second. And we're going to go there. We're going to move that over a little bit. I got my one guide set here. I got my other guide set there. Pull it in the middle. And set the rollers. Bring that back. I'm going to move it up. Okay, now I am set up to cut some film here. So I did this car. I gotta redo the front windows. I guess the guy says they're peeling, but we'll see. I'm gonna cut these. So what I'm gonna do is look at this, and I'm gonna look at the cut. I'm gonna select unidirectional cutting, as that works the best here. And I'm just gonna say cut. And I want to show an example of how this cuts. So it'll cut, it'll stop. It'll cut, it'll stop. It'll cut, it'll stop. This will keep doing this until at some point when it'll do it a little less. I don't want to say it disappears completely, but it does it a little less. And it seems when I first turn it on, it does it quite a bit more. I'm trying to make it so you guys can see well here. It should start to move a little faster. Oh no. Okay. Totally annoying. I paid good money for this plotter here. It did work well. There was a time when it was working well. It did have where the screen was flickering and fluttering the light, and I took per the instructions of tech support, I went ahead and see, this thing is not cutting well at all here, man. I can tell you that much right now. But I went ahead and I took the back plate off, and I unplugged the motherboard and replugged the motherboard in, and that did solve that problem. But not long after I did that, did I start having this issue here with the cutting, where it's going, it's stopping, it's cutting, it's stopping, it's cutting, it's stopping. It's completely annoying. I'm trying to work through this here. So we'll just continue here, continue to work. Now it's kind of gotten to the end there, and it should start to speed up. It typically does. Once it makes it through that first, which would be horizontal, the first horizontal portion, and then it comes to the vertical portion again, and it does the same thing a lot. Sometimes it'll just quit. Sometimes it'll just kind of go off on its own. It'll wreck the film. It'll take a right here and go straight that way for some odd reason. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. So we're gonna try to work through this. I don't know. This is even extraordinary. This is even worse than a lot of the time. It's really, really cutting very slowly. Then it'll start cutting a little more. Then it'll start cutting and have no problems. And then it'll start doing it again. It's a completely intermittent thing. And I'm making this video because what we're going to do is we're going to document how this thing cuts. Basically with the software that I'm using. I don't know why it's going that way. It's finished. It should be going there, over there, but it decided it's going to go this way. I don't understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down. I don't know if hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to cut this piece out here. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to cut this piece out. I can use that. I'm going to set this up here on my glass real quick just to get it out of the way. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll take another look. Alright. Alright. Okay, we got that up on there. And now what we're gonna do is we are going to. Now I sort of made a little bit of a mistake. I queued up actually both those pieces. So that's why it went to the left there. Now I'm just going to select this one piece and make sure my setting didn't change. We're going to get this product set up in the right position here to start cutting. Make our selection. And we're going to click cut. And the sucker's going to go to work here. And hopefully it may cut a little better. Nope, it's going to stop. I sure wish I could eliminate this problem because, dude, this thing worked pretty well. I'd have to say I was about to give it a thumbs up here. Now I'm a little concerned that it's not working. And they are helping me. It's just I kind of have a funny feeling maybe they know what this issue is and they're not telling me. I'm using this product for work and for my business, and I definitely need it to work properly for that purpose. So I'm hoping we can get this squared away here. What we'll do is we'll cut this piece. We'll show how this is working. It's cutting and stopping. Cutting and stopping. It's actually behaving far worse than it was earlier. I cut some film earlier for some cars I got to do tomorrow morning, and it was cutting quite a bit better. And this is actually, I'm cutting some pieces here for a car I got to do in 2 weeks actually, so I'm just kind of using this to show how this thing is behaving. Hopefully we can get through this here. If I don't keep the pressure on too, it'll bunch up. I gotta make sure I keep this thing running, the film running smoothly under the blade, otherwise it does have a tendency to get bunched up. Now it may cut all the way, it may stop again, I don't never know. Stop again. Now it's going to go a little bit, 4 inches maybe. Okay, inch. An inch. Okay, and I am going to even try a different computer here to see. Cut in, stop, cut, stop, cut, stop, cut, stop. I mean, this thing technically could cut my film in just minutes for like a whole car, which could take me 30-40 minutes to do by hand, and it's quite useful tool for what I do, but not when it's not working properly. So I've got just a little bit more to go here, and then we should finish this piece, and then what we'll do is we'll there's that piece. Even when it feeds it out, it's gonna stop. Doesn't want to fucking, oh, excuse my language. Doesn't want to go all the way. It's really weird. So if it was a data problem and the plotter cutter wasn't receiving data fast enough, when the cutting is finished and it's just returning to its position, I would assume that's the plotter itself that handles that information, and that's not working properly either. So I'm not quite sure what the deal is with this thing here. This is the worst it's behaved in a while. Absolutely the worst. So, come on, boys and girls, we just want to get this out of here so I can get this done. Funny thing is it also, when you press enter, it should go into this next screen where it says origin current. It takes sometimes 3, 4, 5 attempts before I reach this screen, which I don't believe is the way it should be. So hopefully here we will resolve this issue. I'm just going to stash this piece up as well here. Just get this out of the way for a minute. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to cut, I'm just going to cut one more piece here before I make my changes to the machine setup. Okay, we're ready to cut again. I'm just going to cut actually, I'm going to hold off on cutting anymore. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now, one of the other weird things is I do have this oval saved in this program. I'm going to make it smaller so you guys can see real quickly here. If I cut this little oval, it works beautifully. No problem, no stuttering, cutting. It cuts just the way it's supposed to. I don't know why this would do it, but every single time it works. It goes through, makes its cut, baby boom, baby bing, done. Okay, done. Now I'm trying to make my selection here again, okay. And this cut perfectly. So that's not a problem there. Now, what we'll do is I'm going to set this up. I'm actually going to turn off the plotter here because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my change here. I'm going to unplug and I'm going to plug the plotter into a different COM port, which was something they wanted me to document or actually try. And I'm going to close this program, which is my Film and Vinyl Designs, and I'm going to open up SignGo, which is the program that they set up for me to try. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I can remember here now, I believe it's this one, regular shapes, and I'm going to do an ellipse, and I'm going to go and do this, right, like about like there, okay, and then I'm going to turn the plotter back on, okay. So now I'm all set up. Different software. I'm going to set up for the cut. Okay, then you got to go to this cut panel here, and I got it set up with this driver, and I've got it set up here. I'm going to show you if you can see. I've got it on COM8, which is a different port, and I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click Start here. And I'm going to have some cutting going on here, and this time, for whatever reason, on that vertical, actually it's the horizontal cut, okay, see, it totally went and just jacked up everything. It grabbed a hold of the film and just took it and ripped it, whatever. Okay, well that one did cut okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move this. Okay, and I'm going to try a different one because that one cut already, okay. And earlier when I tried this, I made a bigger, I'm going to get rid of this little shape, and I'm going to try a bigger circle. We're going to go with a big circle like this, and we're going to select cut selection, which I don't understand, but I have to go through multiple screens here, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay, here we go with the other software, different software from them that want me to try, and a bigger shape, and for some odd reason now we have the same issue with the different COM port, different software. So I'm going to try, I'm going to set up another computer and see if I eliminate this issue with another computer, but for some odd reason when there's anything a large shape that needs to be cut with a lot of cutting back and forth in this direction, which I'm calling horizontal, because when I cut a window film, the way the window piece stands up, this way is the vertical, that way is the horizontal. So I don't know what they would call it, but I have the same issue, different software, different port, and again, just totally bunching up my piece. I don't understand why that's happening. I'm just going to reset, because look at what it did. It just grabbed a hold of the film and just, now I don't understand that, but I can try backing off the blade or something a little bit. Anyways, there it is. I made a cut with the other software that the company provided for me, and I had the same exact results. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to load up on a different computer this software and see what we have with that. So appreciate you taking a peek here, and yeah, it's a 20-minute video. So alright, thanks. Alright guys, I hope you can see here. I went ahead and I installed the free software that you sent me, Sky, on this other computer here that I have, an actual desktop, whereas before I was cutting here with this laptop, and now I'm cutting right here with this desktop here. So that's the desktop below that I got hooked up to the plotter, and here is, now I already did one test cut. I'm on the right port. Went in there and I'm on COM4, and I got the driver for the USB cord all set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a test cut here, just to let you see that it is in fact doing the same thing on this other computer. So now we've eliminated the computer, the software, and I believe I have a problem with the plotter here. So let's go. Start. Okay, we've got ourselves getting over there. It's going to start making its cut, and stop. Okay, this is a whole different computer. Fresh install of the software, and same thing. Cut, stop, cut, stop, cut, stop. So I've got to think at this point in time that I've got a bad plotter here. I'm using this for my business, and I'm either going to go ahead and really give you guys some good info, positive info on the internet. I've been planning on making a bunch of videos like this, or I'm going to leave these videos up and I'm going to tell everybody that this plotter is not worth your time or your money. I did have it cutting properly at one point, so hopefully customer service is going to take care of me here. But I do have it cutting, and it cuts and it stops. It'll go for a while, then it'll cut and it'll stop, and basically, yeah, same thing. So it's real hard for me to do my job and you know, get my pieces cut when this thing is acting this way. It's quite frustrating, and I'm just going to show this out here for the last few minutes. Alright, and we did cut through the film, which I do not like to do. And same thing there. A little bit of pulling, grabbing, but it sure is. I'm having an issue now. You know, could this be the cable? I think it could quite possibly be the cable. Or the plotter. I mean, we've eliminated the software, we've eliminated two computers, and now we're basically looking at this as a plotter or a cable problem, which one of the two. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up on YouTube so I can get this over to Sky so he can take a peek at this and help me out here. Hopefully I can get this resolved without getting prepaid legal involved. I'm real happy with the way the thing cut when it did work, so hopefully we can get that going again and we'll be good. Okay, so I finished this cut. Again, here's, I don't know if you can see that, but okay, that time I waited a while and it went right away. So just a couple little quirky things here. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, I'm cutting a little too deep for my own liking. I don't really like to cut through the film, but I'm going to have to, that's a little too deep for me. I'm going to adjust that now. Back that up a little bit and we should be good. Okay, now it's not responding at all to anything I do. Okay, so I'm going to hit reset. Okay, so there's another example of an unresponsive plotter that isn't quite working with me here. I'm going to shut it off and I'm going to get this video set up, and please, Sky, help me out here, buddy. I need your help, okay? I've got a plotter here that's not working. I need a plotter that works. I'm using this for my business here, buddy. So, okay. And that should do it. Thanks.